just a bunch of humans trapped within walls right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is
scratching at the walls.
They're scratching at the walls, trying to get in. We're all
going insane. Going in.
All the humans are cattle.
What is happening right now?
I don't know. It was just some way in order to get into this topic because it's the only way I can think about bringing the show in.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Now I see.
I was just being an idiot.
What you're doing. I was just joining in because that's what I do.
I appreciate you helping commit to my bit as well. So
okay. Humans are cattle.
Indeed, they are.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what are we talking about?
That is a very good question. But first, before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the General Geekery Podcast, the podcast where we like to geek out about all the things we like to geek out about. And we are smack dab in the middle of Anime April.
Woo!
So if you guys have been listening... Yep. Thank you, Hannah. As
Anime April in the court.
In the quarantine, yeah. What a great time to watch anime while this entire
I know.
What
a great time to watch this particular anime also.
That's kind of why I did the opening for that. As always, this is Donald Kaczynski, and as always, this is Hannah Kubiak.
Hello.
We are the geeks in quarantine right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just let us out. Just let us do all of our shenanigans. We need to do stuff. But
I go and wander around in nature by myself sometimes just to get away from my.
Yeah, that's fair. I totally feel that.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. So for this third installment of Anime April. Well, we already talked about probably one of the most popular anime series of the early 2000s in the form of Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep.
Just makes just as much more sense we talk about one of the most popular animes of the 2010s. So,
yep.
Today we're talking about Attack on Titan, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I love this anime so much.
Probably one of the most talked about shows.
Yes.
And probably one of the most vocal fan bases.
Mm-hmm.
And probably one of the most unique looks of any anime that came out this past decade.
Oh man, yeah.
So
should we give a little sort of summary of what is going on in the
Yeah, there's a lot to cover, but we'll give the general summary. For those of you that have not seen Attack on Titan, that I'm kind of surprised you kind of haven't already. This has been like a big thing. Like Jesus. Like Jesus, have you been living under a rock and you never heard of Attack on Titan? I'm sorry, I kid.
Oh, I totally thought you were saying this is a big thing, like Jesus.
No, I was just harnessing my inner Mean Girls, and I feel bad now.
Taking the name in vain. I
know. So, Attack on Titan is set in this apocalyptic dystopian world where the last of humanity has nearly been brought to extinction by these giant humanoid monsters known as Titans.
Yep.
And
naked dudes with no genitals running around trying to
that eat people. That eat humans. Basically, it got to the point where humanity was forced to survive in order to barricade itself between the safety of 3 different walls in this giant walled country / community. Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and Wall Sina.
Yeah.
Maria being the outskirt, Rose being the second wall, and Sina being the inner city walls which protect the king.
Right.
Because this is a monarchy.
Mm-hmm.
But the story takes place with our 3 main protagonists, Eren Yeager, Mikasa Ackerman, and Armin Artlight.
Armin.
I forget Armin's last name, and I feel sad.
Uh,
I believe it was Artlight, but
Arlight. It started with an A.
yeah,
Armin.
something like that. Aaron has always wanted to go beyond the walls in order to help reclaim like humanity's lost world out there. But one day, a giant Titan.
Bartlett.
Oh, Bartlett.
Arlert.
Artlet. Okay, thank you.
Arlert.
Thank you. But one day, this giant colossal Titan kicks down the door to the door of the wall in which the district in which he lives. He lives in one of the cities that whose gate has one of the gates to Wall Maria, which leads to the outside.
Yeah. It's like a little outer city, right?
Right. Yeah, it's one of the outer cities. The gate is kicked in, bringing in the Titans.
Yeah.
And all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the entire city is lost. His mom is lost. His mom is killed right before his eyes by a Titan.
Yep.
Eaten alive right in front of his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It was oof. And that was all in the first episode.
Yeah.
One episode later, episode 2, it gets exponentially worse.
It gets worse and worse and worse, no matter
what. Everyone's a red shirt. Everyone is a red shirt. That is basically.
It never ends. Yeah.
It never ends. That's basically the theme of this show.
Yeah. Don't get attached to any character.
Really don't. Just don't get attached. Just for your own good, child. Don't get attached. Don't get attached. But in the next episode, everything gets exponentially worse as another special Titan with like armor plating all over its body is able to ram through the secondary gate. So it went from one little outer city being invaded to the entirety of Wall Maria being compromised.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah.
Like, it escalates quickly.
Yeah.
So basically, everyone inside of Wall Maria, like that lives within the confines of Maria, have to retreat behind Wall Rose, and humanity loses more of its territory to the Titans.
Yep. That's where it starts.
And that's how it all starts.
Mm-hmm.
From then on...
And these 3 kids join the Scouts, right?
Yeah, these 3...
They join...
So our 3 main heroes, Aaron, Mikasa, and Armin, join the military and train. The military for this world, for this era of humanity, is separated into 3 separate branches of military. You have the Scout Regiment, which basically is like the leading advance party. They venture out into Titan territory in order to try to reclaim the territory that was lost.
Yeah,
they eventually
they go out and try and kill Titans, basically,
in order to reclaim the land they lost. They originally ventured out beyond Wall Maria in order to reclaim that, but since Wall Maria fell, the mission has always been to clear out the Titans within Wall Maria and reclaim everything. That is the current goal of the Scouts as of that time. You have the I forgot. You have the soldiers that protect the wall. Basically, they are the main police within like a lot of the inner city stuff between then Maria and Rose. Basically, they're like the average kind of police and everything like that. They patrol the walls. They make sure everything is kept up to date in normal society. And then you have the third branch of government, which is the military.
Oh, the garrison.
The garrison. Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. Thank you, Hannah.
That's all right.
And then you had the MP, or the military police, which basically govern all of the inner city dealings, mainly within the confines of like Walsina, like the higher up, like the high class police.
Yeah, they're in charge of protecting the king mostly.
Yeah, they're in charge of serving and protecting the king. And how the selection for the MPs work is basically only the top 10 graduating students of each respective year of military training are allowed to become military police. Otherwise, otherwise you choose to either be assigned to the garrison unit or you become a scout.
Yeah, which is also called the Survey Corps.
Scouting Regiment, Scouts, Survey Corps, Recon Corps. Just call us whatever you like.
Yeah.
And also, I'm Captain Levi. But
gosh!
But we'll get to that in just a second.
So, do you know I watched an entire 2 seasons of that show? Levi was voiced by Matt Mercer. I had no idea, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this makes it even better."
It's glorious.
Oh man,
it's beautiful.
I have a soft place in my heart. Small people.
Oh,
he's so tiny and so angry.
We will talk. We will talk about Best Boy in just a moment. All right. So basically, over the course of the training, eventually Aaron, Mika, and Mikasa are in the top 10 in order to join the military police. But Aaron has vowed to eliminate all Titans, so he is dead set on joining the Scouts and reclaiming the territory. Well,
yeah, he hates Titans.
He hates them.
Titans. Like, more than normal.
Titans are my trigger! That's basically what it is. Titans are his trigger.
Oh my gosh.
And over the course, like the day they graduate too, the city of Trust, where they were graduating, everything like that, the wall is breaking in by the Colossal Titan again, and another. It looks like the entire events of Wall Maria happens again. By the way, there's a 5-year time skip between the fall of Wall Maria and then the Trust battle.
Every time you say Wall Maria, I expect you to say.
I was expecting to say what?
The fall of Wall.
One more time. You keep cutting out whenever
when
you say that.
When you say Wall Maria, I always Walmart.
Walmart?
Yes.
What the heck?
Which is so very relevant these days.
Well,
because there's security to get into. I've heard lots of procedure. You have to get inside, and then things are scarce and stuff. But yeah, it's like I was there when Walmart fell. You know?
Oh my god!
Oh my.
Wait, why are we comparing Attack on Titan to the daily life of the pandemic right now? What is happening?
Yeah, we shouldn't. You know.
Jesus. But we can't.
We really shouldn't. Just edit all. Just edit all crass out.
Yeah, sure thing. So,
if you want to, I don't know.
We'll see. So basically, during the day that they were graduating, they have to choose their corps. The district in which they were in is attacked by the Colossal Titan, and basically they have to help evacuate the citizens of Tross and everything like that. During the course of everything, a lot of things go wrong. Some of the cadets are eaten and everything like that, including, spoiler alert, this is kind of a big spoiler, but we can't really...
We can't tell the story without it, really.
We can't tell the story without it, because otherwise, what else to it? Our main character, Eren Yeager, is eaten by a Titan within episode 5 or 6 or something like that.
Yep.
and when that happened, during the original airing of this show in Japan, when that happened, I remember hearing about Attack on Titan, so I tuned in, and then we got to that episode the day it aired. The entire anime community internet of that fandom exploded.
Yeah.
People could not shut up about this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you basically took the main character and killed him off. And we're just like, huh? But he had to avenge his mom, and it was because he had to kill all the Titans, and just what? And then ultimately, a few episodes later, it's turned out that somehow Eren is alive, and somehow has the ability to become a Titan. So so now it becomes this entire mystery of Eren has this power. Can he help? Can he help save humanity? And what even are the Titans? Yeah. So the show ticks a lot of weird boxes in a way, because you have the body horror with like all of the people of all the humans getting eaten by the Titans and everything like that. You have the post-apocalyptic future mindset and like of medieval times.
Mm-hmm.
You have it's also a mystery show because there's like a lot of secrets being held in the dark that everybody's trying to figure out. Apparently, in Eren Yeager's basement, his father knows a big secret about the Titans and everything like that. So now they have to get back to Eren's home, where Walmaria originally
in Shiganshina,
in Shiganshina district, where Walmaria originally fell, in order to figure all that out. And it's just
which it takes 3 seasons for them to get to. Worth it. Totally worth it.
They finally get there. They finally get there at the end of season 3?
Yeah, at like maybe like the second to last episode.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Okay, awesome. All right, because
the episode is called The Basement.
The Basement. So there's a lot. This show, there is a lot in this show. Like,
oh my gosh, like how all this Titan's ridiculous to me.
So here's the thing with me. Hannah is more or less caught up with the anime, whereas I am not. The season 2 and season 3 of Attack on Titan was on my backlog for a very, very long time because of other circumstances, other shows I was watching, as well as work issues. So I did not have the time to commit to a longer series like Attack on Titan.
Yep.
But when we originally came up with the format for Anime April, and you suggested we do Attack on Titan, I had to go back to the drawing board and redo everything. Because there was a lot of stuff that I forgot, and I was like, I need to refresh on this. So I watched through all of season 1. I got through season 2. I'm about maybe a quarter of the way through season 3.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm also caught up with the Attack on Titan manga.
Right.
So more or less, like we're both caught up with like the entirety of the story.
Well, I don't know what happened.
Which is
after
the basic
they get off the island.
Yeah, which is why I'm not gonna say anything about that. So I'm just keeping my
I'm not gonna say anything about that either. But yeah, it's off is the they see the sea for the first time.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
And they're like, "There's another world out there. We can be free."
To quote Coriolanus, "There's a world elsewhere."
There's a world. Yep.
Indeed. So, that's basically the general synopsis of the show, and as well as we said, there's a lot to take in. Like, there's just like Full Metal Alchemist, there are so many characters and so many other like plot points.
Yeah.
Whereas, as opposed to like Full Metal Alchemist, like even though like Attack on Titan is like a giant world to discover and everything like that, but with Full Metal Alchemist, I felt like Full Metal Alchemist had a little bit of like a clearer narrative at times than Attack on Titan. For me personally.
Sometimes, yeah. I would get a little bit confused in Attack on Titan, the 3rd season, when they had all that stuff about what was it? There was some sort of like the spinal fluid of a Titan injected, become a Titan, and then is it when they eat they become human again?
I think so. Yeah,
like,
it was
like they're a mindless, like the mindless beast Titan for a while that just they don't have their human consciousness anymore. They're kind of devolved into lumbering creatures that go out and try and eat humans all the time.
Yeah, I think it's because...
But then once they eat a human, they become human again?
Kind of. Okay, so basically...
Yeah, explain it to me, please.
Yeah, from just from what I understand. From like all of the stuff I read, basically in the show there are people that are able... We eventually learn that all of the Titans are human beings. Like, all of them are human beings.
Yep.
Like, transformed So, and basically there are some humans that are able to transform into Titans at will and are able to control the forms and everything like that because they have a special skill or ability somehow. From what I understand, if if a Titan eats consumes a human being that is able to have that ability to transform at will or something like that.
Yeah. They absorb that person's power, yeah.
They absorb that person's power, and they're able to revert back to what they were. Because that's what happened with the character of Amir.
Right. I mean, so she ate a person who was able to transform into a Titan.
Yeah, because if you
who did she eat again?
She ate a member of Reiner and Berthold's group, because it was those two.
Right, yeah.
Annie.
Oh, it was
yeah, it was
those two and Annie and some other.
Yeah, one of their friends that was with them that also probably had the ability to transform into a Titan.
Oh, okay.
Did
the outside world?
Yes, they came from the outside.
Okay.
Because for those like not caught up with the anime for the most part, like we don't know anything about like these outside forces that are forcing their way in.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot to take in, but I don't want to shine too much light on it because I don't want to spoil too much from this show.
No, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the season about people trying to transfer these Titan powers to different people, and we sort of get some insight into how Eren got his Titan power, and sort of like basically he ate somebody and he didn't remember it or something.
Yeah, and there's an entire plot point like with that, which we should not spoil because that's a big
not
thing.
At all. No.
That's a big thing that happens later on.
Oh man, yeah, yikes. Okay, but yeah, basically,
so
he his Titan power came from this sort of twisted, slightly cannibalistic sort of succession thing that happens with Titans, apparently.
Yeah, it's really weird how it happens. It's just like, what the heck?
What?
Like,
what?
And when you just see this show for the first time and somebody recommends it to you and you're just like, and you just and you don't know what you're getting into, you can just look at the show and you're just like, what the fuck?
Nani?
Yeah, exactly. Nani? What the fuck? What Nani? The fuck is this?
Oh my god!
I promise.
Yeah.
I promise, Dad, I'll never do drugs again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stay off that dank kush.
Sometimes I think about this. Sometimes, like, who thought this up? Oh my gosh! Like, oh man,
the creative mind comes up with some very weird.
I know. Sometimes I scare myself with things that I think with, like stories I've written and stuff. I'm like, where the hell?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But since we were on the subject of like characters and everything like that,
yeah.
Again, just like Full Metal Alchemist, we have an entire laundry list of characters.
Oh man, yeah. They're... Who should we talk about first?
Oof.
Armin. Let's talk about Armin.
Best boy, my boy.
My
precious boy.
He really stepped up in season 3, honestly.
Oh, like, yes, he did. Yes, he
like
did.
They kind of why he's part of squad, basically.
Yeah,
he's a strategist, incredibly smart, brains behind their tactics, and
yeah, he's the brain trust.
The whole thing where they were the brain trust. The whole thing where they were trying to get to the basement, but they were trying to draw Reiner out. Reiner and Berthold. They were trying to draw them out or find, and just his whole thought process behind all that, and like they put him in that whole thing, basically.
Yeah, like Armin
Of
is
figuring where they were, yeah.
like he's probably one of the smartest characters in the show. Like there's probably maybe like one or two other people that I can think can match him in terms of like battle strategy and intelligence. And one of them happens to be one of my favorite characters, but we will get to her in just a little bit. But but Armin, like he of the three main like protagonists between him, Eren, and Mikasa. Armin, I think, was always like in Eren and Mikasa's shadow through a lot of the show up until like right at the end of season 2, going into season 3 of the anime.
Yeah.
But he always displayed that intelligence that got them out of a lot of tricky situations, because it was his plan to utilize Titan Eren when they didn't even know that Eren was a Titan at the time, to get themselves out of a sticky situation that they had no hope of surviving. Like, he is a smart guy. Like, he notices things in an instant when he focuses.
Yeah. He's definitely the most character, I think. Like, he doesn't really he doesn't have like a special ability or anything like
right.
normal. He kind of lacks confidence. Ugh.
Boy. But
that's me drinking too much coffee.
Oh no,
you're not enough.
You're okay. You're okay.
You lack the confidence.
But at this, but like he lacked in past tense being the word, but he gains it more over the course of the show, especially during that first showdown between Bertolt and Reiner, when he's taunting Bertolt about Annie. Like,
right,
I'm like, oh my god, this boy is throwing so much shade right now.
Oh, is that where he's saying how they've been tortured for months, and he knows how he feels about her and everything.
And Bertolt just snapped at him, and I'm just like, oh boy,
here we go,
like Rumble. And so yeah, Armin's great. like people have talked to death about Mikasa and Eren, like to death. So I don't want to spend too much time on them. Obviously, they care deeply for one another, because Mikasa watched her parents die before her eyes. Yeah, they killed some guys, but Eren basically saved her entire life, so she's like internally grateful to him.
Yeah, and she's basically a natural born fighter. Like, she's a killer.
Oh yeah,
she has preternatural fighting abilities. Like from the get-go, she was the one. Even when they were just kids in the street, she was the one like kicking people.
Just get them all, girl. You got it, Mikasa. Go, queen, go slay queen.
In her little pink sweat, kicking people's asses. That
was great. Like in the back of my mind, just like my little parody infused mind, like in the back of my mind, when she was kicking little kids in the pink sweater with the red scarf all around her. It's like, you want to go? You want to go, boy? Come at me, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's just so good. And then Eren, being the hothead that he is just
it's a little bitch sometimes.
It's like can I just not get kidnapped for once, please?
Oh my gosh.
Like the amount of times he gets kidnapped in this show is just hilarious.
Yeah, he's got a lot of anger. Got a lot of reason to be angry.
Titans are his trigger.
Yeah. And, oh man.
But yeah,
love
like
it.
with
and there's that whole thing where like his Titan uses his mind when he's fighting as his Titan, and to keep on telling him, you gotta focus, but he just goes wild.
Oh yeah, like Yeah, especially when he does the inner monologues to himself and, like, he's talking, like, all visceral and bestial, like,
Yeah.
especially in the English dub, which, by the way, Bryce Papenbrook.
Kill them, every last one.
Which, by the way, Bryce Papenbrook, voice of Eren Yeager, I love you, my dude. I love you for that. You did good. You did good, my boy.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, but, like, oh my god. Like, and we talk about, like, the killing of the Titans, everything like that. Mikasa is a one-woman army, but she is second to probably the biggest Titan killer in the show. Mm-hmm. And the character in which all of the fangirls swoon for multiple different reasons. Captain Levi Ackerman.
Oh, man.
Who in English is voiced by possibly the even more popular and fangirl swooning Matthew Mercer. How do you get a more perfect combination?
Like, those luscious locks.
Like, how do you get a more perfect combination? Like, there are fangirls having heart attacks on the streets, Mercer. like, like Mercer, I love you too, but you gotta control the swag factor, my dude. Control your swag factor.
Yep. Oh man,
but
it's pretty awesome. But yeah, that character as well. I love it. I love his story.
Yeah, he's got a great story. His character is just entertaining and endearing and fun to watch. Like his sass factor of just not giving a shit. Like he doesn't hold back his contempt for a lot of BS.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
which is kind of needed for this world. Especially when you're someone like him, who's like one of the only surviving veterans of his entire unit. Right. Yeah. Especially for being so young, and he's the best soldier in the entire military. He's got close to 100 Titan kills to his name. No one else. Yeah, ridiculous. No one else has that.
I don't know if this was in the manga, but I don't know if you've got this far, but there was a bit where he had to across this field that was full of Titans back behind what they call Beast Titan, the one that kind of looked an ape with a really tiny head.
Oh my god, the Beast Titan.
And he had to get to that one. So basically they were like, we're going to distract Beast Titan throwing boulders at the city. And so basically, what was his name? Commander Erwin.
Erwin.
Erwin, yeah. So he said, we're going to distract him. You need to get around behind him and kill him. Cut the human out of the nape of his neck, because that's where the Titan.
Yeah, that's the weak point of the Titan, because that's where all the humans reside.
Yeah. And then he's got the line things. Is it ODM gear?
Yes, the ODM gear, which is basically how the soldiers are able to zip and fly around in order to attack Titans.
Yeah. And so there was this big open field that Beast Titan was in, and there were like line of Titans on either side of him, sort of to hedge the place in. And so Levi basically he's like, how am I gonna like zip over there when there aren't any trees, there's nothing to attack? Like, I guess I'll just have to zip line from Titan to Titan, and he kills every single one of them on his way to the Beast Titan.
Right.
It's just like amazing.
Yeah, it's just like damn, like,
and just like he's the one who does that thing where he like does a corkscrew around one of their limbs and cuts it like a salami. Like
yeah, he's the one that popularized that technique, and he's the one who's able to do it flawlessly. Like where it takes like 3 people to take down a single Titan, he's over there taking down 3 all by his lonesome. I'm like,
just
Levi,
skinning them.
I'm like, Levi, you don't need to be this extra, my dude. Why?
Well, you have to be when you're like 5 feet.
I know, but I just have to say, why do you have to be this extra, my dude? You don't have to be. But God bless you for being that extra, I have to say.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yes.
But speaking of people of the Survey Corps,
awesome character, awesome backstory that they get into in season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
enough said, man.
But honestly, we go from the one that the fangirls swoon over to probably one of the weirdest depictions of a fangirl inside the show, Zoe Hanji. My God.
Oh yes.
I love this woman with a passion, even though the meme around the entire community is basically her entire character is that Titans make her horny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that really the joke here? Yes. I'm like, oh God, here we go. I'm like, Hanji, I need you to calm down.
I was going to say that big, giant, destructive weapons make her. Giant guns, explosives.
She's great. Like, my God. Like, her, like, just her, like, eccentricity, like, belying all of that intelligence that she has and is able to make, like, and the fact that she can be just as ruthless as Levi at times, it just, I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, in season 3 they tortured that dude together.
When the torture scene in season 3, I'm just like, I'm like,
oh my gosh,
I'm like, yeah, just okay.
These are the good guys, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely outside of the moral gray area on this one, guys. But then again, when you think about it, since all the Titans are technically humans, we're already monsters anyway. So yeah. I mean, we pretty much tossed morality out the window at that point.
Yep. Just.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we got all of that, and then you have all the different side characters. Like you've got Jean, you've got Connie, Krista, who, aka Historia, who eventually becomes the damn queen.
Yeah.
Of the entire kingdom.
Woohoo! Like bastard children.
Damn! What a complete turnaround that was. I'm like, oh, you brought that.
I know.
You brought that literally out of nowhere. My God.
Yeah.
And then,
I didn't even really time actually because a bit of a break me watching season 1 and the rest.
Yeah.
Because I just recently got Hulu.
Yeah. Damn. Oh. All right, so we've gushed about some of the characters that needed the gushing about. All right, moving on. The art style of this show.
Uh-huh.
I think probably one of the most distinct animation styles out of any show.
Yeah.
I think one of the we talked earlier on, and we stated that there was a reason why Attack on Titan is one of the most talked about anime from this past decade. Yeah. Part of it is attributed to the animation style.
Yeah.
It's very heavy. It's very heavy.
I don't have a very good eye for these kind of things. Ironically, because I am an artist, but it's let me think.
It's very heavy with black lines.
Oh, okay. I did not notice that.
It's a little bit more prominent in season 1 when you go back and look at some of the stuff, but a lot of the characters, the character models specifically, have very distinct black line outlining all of them, including some of the Titans. It's
okay.
Like the shade.
I'll have to take a look at that and see it.
Yeah, black outlines around the characters, the shading around some of the eyes. It's it's a paranoia infused kind of art style.
Okay.
Which kind of works.
I can under
the world.
I can see that. Yeah.
So yeah, and of course the art style of the Titans and all the different variants there are. It's just oh my god.
Some of them are downright.
Oh my god.
The way some of the.
The way what?
The way some of the Titans run is goofy.
Yeah, they just walk normally at one point, then they just do
they all of a sudden just start sprinting, but their heads, arms are behind them, and they're
It looks like they're holding out their hands in a motion of like they're skipping through a field of like flowers or something like that, but they're just running full force. It's just like no, nope. I will say no to that. Thank you.
Just like
just like no.
Yep.
And it's just my God.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next time I watch through it, I'll watch for those lines.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to talk about it, but like I know that was something I noticed a lot when I was watching through it the first time. It's just it's like all of the characters are being
there.
Yeah, like all the characters are just outlined with like a distinct like black outline, almost kind of like a old school art style, infused with like a manga shading. For me personally, I found that to be interesting. And all right, we got that. The soundtrack. The music for this show can only be described with the 4-letter word epic.
I'll like 15 other 4-letter words went through my brain.
Yeah, I've liked it.
I was gonna say dope.
that too. But mainly with like the fight themes when like you have like this woman just singing like all these songs in like Latin or German or anything like that. It's just like,
oh man, and it works.
Yeah. And then of course you had the first opening theme of the first season, which is probably the most legendary theme of the show, and also became a little bit of a meme at one point.
Yeah. Yeah,
pretty much. And it's just it's a lot to take in. It is.
Oh man, yeah. The music, that one.
Yeah, like wow. Ugh.
I love it, but yeah, highly recommend. Go listen to that music.
Yeah, like honestly, like the music alone is like worth listening to. Like even if you haven't seen the show, just like a lot of the music tracks in this are just oof. Yeah. Wow. Good job. Très bien. Très bien.
Très bien. Approved.
Approved by Hannah of the General Geekery podcast.
Exactly.
But
oh man, I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to. What do you think is like one of your favorite moments from
the show?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. That is a very one of my favorite moments from the show. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. It's a little bit of an early one, but it's when Eren was first revealed as a Titan, and Mikasa and Armin are trying to convince the Garrison Corps to not execute him, and Armin has that giant speech. like I love standout moments for characters, and I'm like,
yeah,
that was the speech. I'm like, good. I'm like, good on you, Armin. Good on you.
Yeah, standout moments. I love it.
And then they try to kill him anyway out of fear, and I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
And then and then Garrison Commander Granddaddy Pixis came in and saved the day. I'm like, woo!
Granddaddy. Oh man, that guy cracks.
Oh, Dot Pixis.
He looks like somebody that I know. I'm trying to. You know what? He looks a little bit like my great granddad. That's
honestly for me. He looked like anime.
My great grand. Patrick Stewart, anime Patrick Stewart.
Anime Patrick Stewart with a mustache.
What if I told you that my great granddad is Patrick?
Then I could say I met your great grandfather.
Yeah, I know. It would
I'm kidding.
Be but he looks like my great granddad. My great granddad was like bald and had this big gray mustache.
That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of the standout moments for me. God, what else?
I already shared one of mine. The Levi hopping over to the Beast Titan, and spiralizing all of the Titans in his wake after he used them as a stepping stone.
Yeah, I agreed on that. Actually, I think probably the standout moment that really like changed everything about the show, that turned it on its head, was the Beast Titans introduction.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because that changed everything.
Because he can talk in his Titan.
I mean, there was like a little side episode thing where like a Titan said a person's name. But this was a Titan speaking intelligent sentences, like proper sentences. It was actually speaking, and it's just like,
yeah.
we were pretty much Mike in that instance. But before the Beast Titan just sick the rest of the Titans on it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, I am so sorry. Like, everybody's a red shirt. Everybody's guaranteed to die.
Yeah.
Regrettably. Like, that's the thing. Like, you can't go into this show like getting attached to too many side characters. Well, maybe except for a couple, but
yeah.
Again, plot armor until certain events happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Hannah says with that post-traumatic stress disordered laugh. I'm sorry.
Gosh, I was so scared at.
Yeah. I could probably think of like which one it was, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but
that poor guy.
Yeah.
Watch this show.
Yeah. For those that don't know about the show and are wondering why we're being so vague, just you have to experience it. Like we can say stuff about the beginning that like it's kind of needed in order to get you into the show, but like we said, there's a lot. There is so much meat on this bone. It's impossible to dissect within a single episode of a podcast, and honestly, it shouldn't really even be fully dissected in a podcast just to give people expectations for it. Like,
hopefully people are excited by this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's all we aim. We just want to talk about it and get everybody else excited for it, for those who haven't seen it, but for those who have seen it, y'all know what we're feeling. Y'all know what we're feeling.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. I just love stories about soldiers too.
Yeah, this is
the bond between soldiers is just really, really important to me.
Oh yeah, especially in the Scouts, especially like.
Yeah, because they lose so many of their buddies.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. One last standout moment was like during the entire like retrieval of Eren to get him back from like Bertolt and Reiner and everything like that. When Erwin shouted "charge" and then a Titan nommed his arm, I'm like, no. And then he's like, don't you look back, keep going forward. And then he comes back and is just kicking ass with one arm. I'm like,
yes, that was awesome.
Like, oh my God, Erwin.
Everybody's freaking out. Like, oh my God.
Everybody's freaking out.
Except for him. He's like, it's just a flesh wound. Get it?
Pretty much. I'm just like, Erwin.
I've had
my dude. I'm like, Erwin, my dude. Like he's not even flinching that a Titan is nomming on his arm. I'm like, Erwin, my dude.
No.
I'm like, dude.
I expected this to happen eventually. Day.
Yeah, and he's like, do not, and he's like, don't worry about somebody who's insignificant. I'm like, that speaks that spoke volumes about his mindset. Like, and that's another thing with like a lot of things on the show. A lot of the characters presented in the show, they're not all normal. All of them are really damaged in some way, shape, or form. Whether it be through like trauma of the war with like the Titans and everything like that, past experiences, familial issues. It's just
yeah, Yeah.
Everyone in the Survey Corps that like are the main people are damaged human beings. So
oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
yeah, so it's like the trust, like you said earlier with like the trust between soldiers, like the trust is more important with them specifically than a lot of other characters, truthfully.
Yeah. I have a like uh, I think it was in the part where we kind of figure out what Historia is and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And her father wants like become a Titan and then eat Eren so that she can have his power and everything.
Right.
And just because of who she is and that she's royalty, this power that he has could basically save all of humanity. And when he you gotta eat me, hurry up, which I found funny that there's this whole big dramatic moment, but it's based on somebody telling somebody else to eat them.
I can only imagine like the voice actors and like the audio producers just trying to keep it together, like and not trying to be like silly about it.
In the moment, I'm sure, but yeah, he was basically just for the good of humanity, begging her to just basically kill him, and she refused and she saved his life instead, which I love that angle where it's kind of like, I'm not, because even though there's a messier way to do it, it's a better way for you and me. Like, I'm not going to kill you. Even I'm not going to do something like that, even though I could save the world. We'll find a different way, both of us together, kind of.
And somewhere, Reiner in the back of his mind is just thinking towards Historia, marry me. Just like I'm just like just can we not? Can we just leave the girl alone?
Just leave the girl alone.
Just let her be with Amir. That's what we want.
That is what we want.
It's what they want. Just let them have it. Let them have it. Let those two be happy together. Just let them be happy. But other than that, yeah, that's really Attack on Titan just wrapped up into a bow like that. Like this entire crazy freaking world that has basically taken the community by storm when it was originally introduced on TV in 2013, and then made everybody incredibly cross and angry that we didn't get a season 2 for 4 years.
Yeah. Oh man, ridiculous.
Why? Because the animation style cost money, and the manga needed to catch up to a certain point. Yeah.
I watched the first season years and years and years ago, and only just recently watched the second and third season, like binged them.
Yeah, and honestly, like season 3 came like a year after season 2, which I'm like, which is like, yeah, it makes sense because the manga has progressed much further now. And it's just like, oh my god, there's a lot. There's a lot to do. And with the season 4 apparently confirmed for this year, it's only going to continue. Hell
yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. And what time this year? I don't know. I do not know. It all depending on I don't know how release dates are going to be confirmed with like shows and games and everything like that, with COVID still being a major thing.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We will just have to wait and see. But at the current time of the recording of this episode, you guys can catch Attack on Titan on streaming platforms such as Hulu.com, as well as on Funimation's other own streaming service as well. I don't know if it's on Netflix still. I think they may have taken it off, but
Netflix?
I'm pretty certain they took it off. But
that's why I haven't watched it yet. That's why I only watched it recently, because it wasn't on Netflix.
Yeah, that's fair. And they have it on Hulu in both dub and sub. So whichever your preference, pick your poison. Both are great. So just go ahead and enjoy yourself with that. And
go ahead.
Any closing thoughts on this, Hannah?
No, not really. Just, yeah. Band together as human beings.
Indeed. All right. And with that, I think that'll close out this edition of the General Geekery Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening in and listening to us geek out about cannibalistic giant humanoid monsters with no genitals. Oh my god. What even are you, anime? I wonder sometimes what even are you, but I love you, but just what are you? But anyway, again, thank you guys so much for listening in. You guys can check out the General Geekery Podcast wherever podcasts can be found on Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, as well as on YouTube at Anime Revolution Productions. You can check us out on social media at General Geekery on Instagram and at Gen Geek Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. Hannah, where can they check you out at, my friend?
Well, you can join me and my party every Monday at 7:30 on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. We are still streaming despite the social distancing and everything. We actually in a floating head format.
Keeping the spirit alive.
Yep. You could check me out on my other podcast that I do called Slanknicks, where we talk about nerdiness through the generations. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Pythia and Legume.
Nice. Also, highly recommend Slanknicks. I've been listening to a couple of episodes myself, and
you have?
Yeah, they've been highly enlightening. Honestly, like,
oh, good.
It's a great way to spend the time. I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts recently, so helps.
Yeah,
helps
my mom's a Ravenclaw, so she's very knowledgeable.
Me and her are both Ravenclaws. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So she'll like explain stuff about like history, and
my God,
sort of goofy comment to make about it.
That is me to a T. That is absolutely me to a T.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And anyway, you guys can check me. You guys can check me out on social media as well as Instagram and Twitter, and on Twitch.tv at RyuzakiMK7. That'll be it for this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. This has been episode 24. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and human or cattle, Titans are our trigger. But always remember, keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Humanity's cattle.